Hey there, Mr. Mac. This is our Strat session. It is 10-10. 10-10. How did everybody's trades go today? Anybody have anything they want to share?
I didn't trade today. I have a trade on that I set on Monday
Okay.
on SPX that will
Mhm.
expire. It should expire worthless. It's at 5590 PCF.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And is it ready to close now or it needs more time?
It was ready to close. I think because I was so busy with work today, I
Hmm.
think when it closed, it was at 98%.
Okay. Now you could have closed it today.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So in the morning, when you get on in the morning, go ahead and close it as early as you can, because what you don't want to do is let there be a big drop tomorrow because
PPI.
of PPI. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want to you don't want to have a big massive drop and your good trade that was good all week goes in the toilet.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
True.
what PPI happening tomorrow?
Yes, PPI is another inflation thing. CPI was this morning at 8:30 and PPI data numbers will be tomorrow. It's the producer price index, I believe, is what the first P stands for. Basically is the cost of goods. So it's another inflationary data point to go with. CPI is consumer price and PPI, I believe, is producer price. I think that's what the P is.
Okay.
But those happen early in the morning they happen at 8:30, so it happens before the market opens. And that's what made me not do my one DTEs yesterday and today, because I've seen that happen, that when it's CPI or PPI happens, or if FOMC is going, if Jerome's going to talk before the market opens, then you find out that your trade, that you can't do nothing about an options trade when it's, when the market is closed. So I just didn't do them and said I'll put it back on Friday and go on for next week.
Hmm. Okay.
Mhm. Yep.
No, on the PPI and CPI, are we more concerned if we're in commodities that though the price index affect more, or
Yeah,
did you
or
say
if you don't, if
overall?
what you got doesn't, if the what you got, it doesn't seem to be an effect on those, then don't be as concerned about it. But if you're like in triple Q or SPY and IWM, things that are going to have a big impact, then you want to watch those things. But if you're in like individual stocks that aren't inflation based, then it may not be a thing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Lisa.
I found funny is that um, before I started uh, investing or trading, I didn't hear none of this stuff.
Right.
CPI, API, double IOP. I didn't even thinking about it. Now
Didn't even
every
care.
week it's like, what else is going to affect the market? Good gracious.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing that as soon as you get into a space, you start hearing about it and seeing it everywhere. Economic stuff and all these different data points, and you just like, I just didn't care about any of this stuff before, and now it's like, if we don't hear our morning run in the morning to see, I didn't care who had meetings or who was going to put out data. I didn't even know what the FOMC was. I didn't even care,
Yeah,
but. Now I need to know when the FOMC is going to be talking. The 10-year bond auctions, didn't
yeah.
care. Didn't care.
I thought Jerome Powell was Austin Powell's brother. I'm thinking, I don't care. Good gracious.
Nope, didn't even care. Didn't even care. I kept thinking he was going to be black though, because it ain't like Rome, but he's not.
That is the only white Jerome that I know.
Yeah, I do know another one. The other white Jerome I know is from England. So maybe that's an English thing for,
Dude,
yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, a friend of mine, a black girl, she married a white guy from England and his name was Jerome.
I'm like, this dude is a Powell, but he ain't related to Colin.
No,
But
as far as we know.
and he ain't black. They're like, what? This is confusing.
Yeah. This is confusing.
And he's a Republican.
Is he?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not shocked about that part, I don't think. I don't think I'm shocked that he's a Republican. Not at all.
Is he appointed to that office?
Yeah.
He's been there a long time.
Yes.
He said he's been there through 4 presidents. That's what he said. That's a long time. Who was he
Wait,
appointed by,
So
though?
Bernanke, wait, so Bernanke was wait, that's crazy. It's been a minute. 4?
He said that
Okay, I gotta look it up.
because somebody was asking him about the politics, the presidential race and and he said his response was that he had been there through 4 presidents and that he was not influenced by the different things that politics do. He said he wasn't influenced by that. Definitely what he said. All right, let me go ahead and move us forward. Anybody else want to share anything for the day? Tomorrow is Friday.
I guess I could say today was crazy. I
Okay.
got in. So I think I did revenge trading.
We were just talking about that.
Oh, really? Okay, I came in
Uh-huh.
late. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
Because I missed yesterday,
Mm.
and knowing that today was kind of crazy, and I was like, oh, but I don't really want to trade on a Friday. So I think so 2 things were working against me. I think in my mind, I said, no, don't get in. It's PPI, or I mean CPI, let it go. But then I didn't trade yesterday, and I was like, dang, see, I had it right. So I got in my sim, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm looking at this for SPX. And I got into a put, but I was far away.
Okay.
I was
But the
like,
price came back anyway.
I was at some in the sim. In the sim, I think it was like 57.50.
Mm-hmm.
Because I checked the low for the day, and I think that was at like 63. So I was like, all right, cool. Then I was like, well, maybe we could do this live. And the reason I thought that was because, noon passed, and for like an hour and a half, it just stayed at 57.80. Like
Mm-hmm.
57.80, 77, 57.80. I was like, all right, well, I'm far away. If I get in far away, I'm good. I
Mm-hmm.
got in.
He said, I got in.
I got in. It was 57.60.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, yeah, we still above what the low, whatever the low was for the day. So I was like, all right, cool. Well, then the bad boy wants to drop TD America Trade, all these other things, all the news started happening. I was like, I can't believe I watched you I watched you all day and you did not, you know what I mean? I was like, this is crazy. So I ended up riding through. And it finally came back to 0 or green. And I was like, all right, cool, it's my time to get out.
Did you?
And so the first time I didn't, and the second time I did, I was able, my finger was quick, and I was like, all right, cool. Only for it to ride up and stay stable.
Yeah.
I was hot when I tell you. I was hot because I paid more in commissions just to get out for the daggone. And yeah.
Did you make a profit or did you break even?
It was practically nothing. It was $2.
Like literally $2 or 2 times the 100 shares dollars?
No, just 2 because of my commission.
Okay,
Whatever
gotcha.
the fee was, I think it was 10. I think it was 10. It was 10, but the daggone commissions was $1.80. I was like, are you kidding me? Why is it so
Yeah,
much? And I've
yeah.
never gotten in on the same day, like that whole, in and out activity. So I hadn't.
But the commissions don't change. I mean, in and out, though, you don't pay extra commissions for that. You pay the same commissions you would pay any other time.
Well, that felt higher than usual.
It felt high because it was all the same day. It was the same, but it felt high.
Hey, $2 is 20 packs of annihilators.
20 packs. Not in these inflationary streets.
I'm sorry, in the 80s.
You know what? I'm gonna push you in the 80s, okay?
Yeah, not in these inflationary streets. You lucky to get a pack for $1 these
My
days.
bad, in the 80s.
In
So
the
while I
80s.
was quick on the draw to finally get out, then I was like,
Yeah.
"Dang," I was, what? That was crazy.
So had you charted to make sure to see if it was at a support? Did you have your VWAP on? Did you have your moving average going? What were you using as your
So
justification?
yeah, I've been liking VWAP, but the fact that it kept falling down and it just, it didn't, it actually, and that's, what, that's the other thing. Now I look back and I'm like, dang, it never breached.
Mhm.
Right? It never breached. It never got to the official low, but it was just in the red the whole daggone time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you're
just
right.
because price was coming in the direction. So
Yep.
you were
Yep.
safe.
Yep. 57.60. Darn. It never got below jeez.
I know I hate when that happens because the time that you decide you're going to, that you're like, it didn't get there, but another time you'll say, it didn't get there the last time and you decide you're going to stay is the time it, bottom
And I
falls.
had to use the bathroom. I couldn't wait because I was literally I was glued to the daggone thing the whole time once it started going down, only for it to I was like, you know what?
Yeah, you could
Lesson
have put an
learned.
alert on, and alert would have let you know, but you just, so now make sure when
Well, I
that
had,
happens-
I did. I actually, well, I had my alert at 7 to 70. So yeah, but you know what? Yeah, so again, I think that's where that revenge came in because, I was just off.
Okay, all righty, I get you. All right, everybody. Y'all ready to talk about the Strat a little bit this morning, this afternoon, this evening?
Pick a time,
Yeah, I know, right? Just pick one.
Well, we glad you're good because, we saw these images.
Yeah, it went from us too, and for, I don't really watch the news. We purposely don't watch the news. I don't watch the news because the news up to me is always bad news. So I don't really watch the news. But now my husband put on antennas on our TV. We usually just stream everything, but he put some antennas up so now we can see the local news. And of course, soon as we crack our eyes open, he turns the news on, and the news is just showing you all it's got a problem here and this is that, and I'm like, oh my goodness. It's all this, and it was bad. Everywhere they were showing us wasn't near us, but it was still like, this would definitely scare anyone. This would make anybody frightened. So Lisa's on here. Lisa lives down in the Orlando area. Lisa, you got power yet? You got your power back on?
No, not yet. I had to
Not
cut the
yet.
Wi-Fi off on my phone.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
my
wow.
goodness. Yeah. I have some friends in Brevard who said they got their
Yeah,
power
but we was
finally came
prepared.
back
We had
on.
candles and
Yeah.
we had
You doing all
candles and
right though?
flashlights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're doing good.
Okay.
Just waiting on to get back on.
Waiting on it to
Thank
come
you.
back on. The last one I was there was many years ago. After a little while, after I know power never came on at my place, I went and found me a hotel. Me and my kids, we were there maybe 3 or 4 days with no power. And finally I was like, I need some AC. The wind wasn't blowing no more. It was hot. I was like, okay, we need to go find a spot. We had to end up going to like Busch Gardens. It was so few people at the amusement park because everybody was at home managing the storm. We were at Busch Gardens riding the rides.
They have workers.
Oh yeah, they did.
Real
small.
quick, there
Yeah.
was a picture of Disney under, flooded. Only for it to come by way of the Russians. I was like, you know what?
Yep. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let's go ahead and talk. Nope, not that one. Talk the Strat. Okay. The Strat. I like the Strat because it is a very visual strategy. It's very visual in that you can see, you know, it uses the same candles we use all the time. And then it shows you what candles are which, basically, and what you can expect to kind of be happening at a candle, right? So there's 3 types of candles. They got numbers on them. Y'all have seen the numbers on my charts before. So the one candle is basically inside of the previous candle. And I'm gonna show you examples of these. But a 1 candle is inside of the previous candle. The 2 candle is either higher than or lower than or less than, basically it went out the top or went out the bottom of the previous candle. And a 3 candle is outside the top and the bottom of the previous candle. Okay, so you got a 1 candle, a 2 candle, and a 3 candle. Let me show you an example of 1s, 2s, and 3s. So you can see this 1 candle here. I kind of marked them a little bit. The 1 candle here, right? This is the previous candle you're looking at. Let me turn this to another color. That way we can write on here. So the previous candle, this is the 1, right? This is the 1 candle. The candle before it is higher than that candle and lower than that candle. So the 1 is called an inside candle. That's what the name of it. It's called an inside candle because it is inside of the previous candle. So a 1 candle is like an indecision candle. It's the candle where you know, make no moves. Basically, you don't enter, you don't exit on a 1. You basically make no moves on a 1 candle. You wait to see what happens next. Okay, so you got an inside candle. Basically, it's called an indecision candle. We aren't higher than the high of the previous. We're not lower than the low of the previous. We just chilling out on a 1. If you want to enter the candle, you enter after the 1 to see what happens on the 2, right? This one here next to it. And it's got an arrow. Notice it's got an arrow here. This is called a 2 down. It's called a 2 down or a 2D, basically, because it's letting you know it's a 2 candle, but it's a 2 because it went down below the low of the previous candle. It went below the low of the previous candle. All right. So that's called a 2 down. Now, depending on what you were doing entry-wise, a 2 down says, okay, I'm a 1 candle, I'm inside, almost like our opening range breakout, and I'm breaking out of the bottom. So you break out at the bottom here of this 2, and then once you break out, this could be, if you're a buyer, it could be entry. It could also be a selling place if you're an open closer, right? Or if this is closed, you could also use it for selling. Primarily, I could see where it's used, could be used more so for buying. Because this, once it crosses over the bottom of this 1, this could be your entry, right? Entry going down because you're like, well, okay, the candles are showing us that they want to go, that's an R, want to go down. Okay, so it goes down some more, basically down, down, all the way down to here. Notice we got a 2 down, a 2 down. Both of those happen there. Right? 2 down, 2 down. I'm gonna show you another paper that shows entries and that kind of thing. So I can erase that. 2 down, 2 down. Then look, after this 2, we've got another 1, which is another inside candle. Inside these 2, the 1, it shows a 2 down, but it doesn't really do what I can talk about terminology, something called enforce, which basically means, does it close below here? Even though this is a 2 down where price went down below here, it didn't close below here. The price action went down here, but it closed higher. It closed higher. Notice this candle here then becomes a 2 up. See this arrow here? This is a 2 up. And 2 up means it went higher than the previous candle. It went up higher than the previous candle. Okay, that's called a 2 up. Everything is based on what the candle was right in front of it. So because this one went up, now this is called a 2 up, another 2 up, another 2 up. Price action goes all the way up to here. Then we end up with closing with a 1. This is today's chart, by the way. This is SPX on the 15-minute. This is today's price action. I didn't show a 3, but it looked like there's no 3 on this chart. And that's not what we wanted to do. I want to be able to show you a 3. A 3.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
The significance of the numbers being 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you, guess you could say, clarify that again?
Okay, so a 1 is called that because it's an inside candle. It is inside the previous candle, right? It's hot, lower than the, lower than the high, higher than the low. It's inside of this candle.
That's including, okay, so that includes wicks.
That includes wicks. So this candle
Price
here,
action.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. It includes price action. This candle
Okay.
here is inside of that one. Okay, that makes it a 1. Notice all these 1 candles are inside of their previous candles. This 1 candle over here, inside of the previous candle.
Okay.
Okay, that's why something's called a 1. All righty. A 2 is the next one. You got 2 ups. Like here, you got a 2 up. Basically, a 2 up means it went outside of its previous candle in the upwards direction. So this is a 2 up. It went higher than the previous candle's high. This one went higher than the previous candle's high, so it's also a 2 up. This one went up higher. See, now it's still called a 2 up. It went higher than the previous candle, but it didn't close higher than the previous candle. Now that it's red, it's still called a 2 up. So the color of a candle doesn't necessarily dictate what it's called, right? It's totally based on where did the price action go, not based on the color of the candle. Notice you got a green 2 and a red 2. Right? Because this 2 was up higher than the previous one. This one's also up higher than the previous one, but it's a 2, and it's a 2 up, but it's red. 2 up because it went higher than the previous candle.
So then it's safe to say that the color of the arrow is more important than the color of the candle?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes. And then you've got this here, 2, this is a 2 down because it's lower. This one went lower than the previous candle. Price action went down below the previous candle. So this is called a 2 down. Okay, still a 2, but you got 2 ups, 2 downs. All right. Now we have a 3 right here. A 3 is what's called an outside candle. It's called an outside candle. Anybody got an idea why they call it that?
Because it went outside it's because it went outside the former candle.
It went outside the previous candle, so it's higher than the high of
It's
the
the
previous
opposite of a
candle.
1.
Yes, and it's lower than the low of the previous candle. Absolutely, it's opposite of a 1. It's lower than the low of the previous candle and higher than the high. So it's outside of its previous candle. Okay, that's what makes something a 3. All right, so we've got 1s are insides. We've got 1s, 1s. These are 1s, all inside candles. They're inside their previous candle, right? 1s are indecision. You don't make a move on a 1. You decide what happens on the next candle, basically. Okay, so a 1, we've got no moves. That's our indecision, deciding which way we going from here. Right? And these numbers, the 1s, 2s, and the 3s, or this price action thing works on all the time frames. So whatever time frame you put it on, you decide you're going to trade, you can trade this on any time frame because the 1s, 2s, and 3s will work on the daily, the hourly, the monthly, all the minutes, the 1 minute, 5 minute, all of them is what's called price is fractal. This works the same on all the time frames. Okay, so on a 1, you do nothing. You wait to see what happens next, right? 2s are generally where you can have your entries, right? 2s is where you can make your entries. Depending on what the previous candle, because there's combinations I'm going to share with you in a minute. 2s are generally where you make your entries and potentially your exits, depending. And then 3s. Now, 3s will trap a lot of stuff inside of it if price doesn't break out of a 3. But when price does break out of a 3, you know it's going somewhere. Like in this case, when the price breaks out of a 3, right? When the price gets out of here, because 3 is what's called like a mother bar, but when price breaks out of a 3, you know it's going to go a little bit because it had enough strength to break outside of a big candle or a big 3, because 3s are like, you know, they engulfed previous stuff. All of this stuff before it, all of these things here, well, not that one, all of these were inside, these 3 candles were inside of this 3 right here. Right? All 3 of these candles were inside of that. Well, this one looks like it went out a little bit at the top. Once you get a 3, the one when something breaks out of a 3, it's going to keep going. This one here looks like it's barely a 3, but it must be just a 1 cent higher than this previous one. That's how it became a 3. 3 is what's called an outside bar. 2, it's either going outside up or outside down. And a 1 is indecision. You chill out there. Nothing. Okay. Tell me if that's clear. Does that make sense to everybody? And if it doesn't, let's clarify it. Which part doesn't make sense?
It's safe to assume that there are red 3s as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, there can be red 3s as well. Just needs to be big. You know, the number, the color of the candle is based on, you know, direction, but the number of the candle, here's one here. Here's a red 3. Then the color of the candle is based on direction, but the number of the candle is based on size.
And I'm assuming there's no 0s and 4s.
Nope, the only 1s, 2s, and 3s.
You being funny. You being funny.
He is.
No, actually, I'm being dead serious.
No, there are no 0s
So
and 4s.
Jamie, a way to look at this is, you know, if it's a 1, well, yeah. So if it's a 2, the former candle, you know, the action moved up or down. I mean, it's really just telling you it's I mean, I like the 1, 2, and 3. Sometimes it's easier. I guess I would say that what I gravitated to this was I felt like you didn't really have to pay too much attention to the actual candle, not to take away from, but the 1, 2, and 3, you knew what the 1 was, you knew what the 2 was, right? If you see a 2, that means that the former candle in comparison is either up or down. The 3 is an engulfing, in my opinion.
It is. That's
A
what it
3
is.
candle is an engulfing candle because it took or it overpowered the former candle, which tends to be a 2. I don't know if there tends to be a 3 and a 1. Well, actually, no, because look at that
They're
1 and 3
ones.
right there. So
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
see,
ones.
but it's to me the 3s tend to be engulfing. It tends to be, you know, more movement compared to all of the compared to the former candle, because it's really just the former candle. You're only comparing it to the former candle.
Absolutely, that's exactly what you're comparing it to.
No, I mean, thank you for that. But I have to ask the questions that
Yeah.
I guess you could say help me to get it figured out. So I need to eliminate. My
Yes.
process of elimination is how I learn. So
Yes.
so if I know it's just 1, 2, and 3, then I know I can exclude stuff. So I wasn't trying
Yeah,
to
there's no more numbers after that. That's it.
1, 2, and 3. Okay. So now these are called strat combos, and there's you know, this is sufficient really. There's a lot of them, but this is I put it in our Telegram chat, and I think we have 2 or 3 of them there that all have a mixture of the same things. It's just however the person laid it out, right? So the strat generally talks a lot about well, you got reversals and you've got continuations.
Listen, can you zoom in on this at all?
I can try. I don't know if it'll zoom. Let's see.
If you can, that's fine.
I don't think I can. You may have to, I'm not sure how many screens you got open, but you may have to click the one inside of the Telegram chat and get it closer, because this is small, I know. I know I can't zoom in there. Oh, no, something happened, but then it gets blurry, but I did zoom it. Okay. So, reversals, there's reversals and there's continuations. Reversals, basically, you've got, in this case, a green, and I'm going to show you some of these on the chart even. You've got a green that went up, right? A green 2. Then there's a 1. And remember the 1 candle where we don't make any movements. And then, so this was up. Looks just like up, over, and down. What does that look like to you? A sell zone. It looks the very same. But what this tells you, which is a little bit different than the sell zone situation that we look at, is where do you take entry? It says, okay, the price went up. So leg in, base, leg out. And at the leg out, as soon as it crosses underneath the bottom of that 1 candle or that base candle, that's when you take entry. That's when you enter the trade, right? As soon as it crosses back across this 1, you're ready to going down, you're ready to take entry. It also gives you entry, it gives you the target. The target is the bottom of the candle that you used as your, reversal candle per se. That would be your target. And then there's multiple targets along the way, but you want to look at the first one. And the stop loss, because what's not on this page here is the stop loss. The top of this candle here would be your stop loss. All right, you could use that one. You actually could use this candle down at the top of this one as a stop loss too, but that's one back here is a safer place. But reversals, bearish reversal, bullish reversal, leg in, base, leg out. Okay, just the same thing, but you take entry right after it crosses over that 1 candle. That's where you would take your entry. Then you have a 2-2 reversal. See, this was a 2-1-2 or 2-1-2 reversals, right? You can also have a 2-2 where I went up and then I came straight back down. There's no base there. You just leg in and we're going the other way, right? So you went up. Once you cross back beyond that candle, now you're ready to say, I'm going in. I'm going in.
The wick in that as well.
Yes, the wick will be included. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. On here, there's no wicks shown on this graphic, but wicks are included. Yeah, because the wick is the price action that goes with this candle. So you would want to include your wicks. All righty. So bearish reverse, oh, sorry, this was bullish too. So you went down and then it hit something and turned right back around. No base. That's just leg in, leg back out. Like we went down here like that little baby in the little meme that they show where the baby runs in the room and then he turns around and runs back out. Same thing right here. Okay. Then we got a 3-2-2. Basically a 3, leg in, again, base, and then leg back out. As soon as it crosses over the bottom of that base candle, you back going the other way. Leg in, base, leg out. This is a bullish reversal. Right? Here's this one's called, it's got some name by Chicago. I don't even look at that. I just look at the reversals. Green, 1, you got a 3-1-2 going the other way, 3-1-2 going the other way. All right. Similar concept. It went up, turned back. It went down, turned back. Okay. Those are reversals. All these up at the top are reversals. Basically, where price goes and then makes a turnaround. Then you also have what's called continuations or continuation candles, which we've looked at some candle patterns and we know some that are continuation patterns. How do we know this? Well, if you're using the Strat, you can say, okay, I was going down, price was going down. It took a pause, which what does it look like for us? What if we use this here? A chair. A chair is still a chair. Yes, a chair is still a chair. Down, over, down some more. Entry is once it crosses back over. So 1 is a pause candle. Basically, price just paused and took a break, and then it kept on going. Or we went up, chair, and up some more. That's a continuation. You also can have continuation where it just keeps hitting candle, candle, candle. As one crosses the next, then it just continues. No break there. As soon as it crosses over, you can enter on this one, you can enter this one and keep going. Those are continuation candles. Then we got some more.
Where are your exits for the continuations?
The exits for the continuation would be previous candles. For all of these, it's previous candles. So as you hit, we can look at it on the chart and I'll show you. But when you see the candles that are over here, their wicks, their bottom wicks is where you would see your targets, is where you would have for targets or exits. I'll show it to you on the chart.
Okay.
That's a good question. Okay, some more reversals. Basically, this was green. And then it gapped down and went down through it. And once it crosses back under the bottom of that green candle or over this red one, then we go Rev Strat, same thing. These are several different combos. I really just try to focus on a couple of them. Just anytime I see a green, then some red, or red, then some green, then that's a reversal. You know, just look for the reversals, because reversals are easier to see for your pop moves. And it may be you know, sometimes when we're looking on our sale things too, we're looking to see, is this going to keep going? Is this going to keep going? And then you need to just be able to look at some of these candle patterns and say, according to what I see here, it's getting ready to turn around, right? One thing I didn't talk about with the strat is time frame continuity. We've talked about it before. Time frame continuity basically says, what is it doing on the different time frames? Is it on the hourly, the daily, the weekly, the quarter, the 5 minute, the 10 minute, the 30 minute? What is it doing? And if you have the same thing happening on multiple time frame, that's let you know that that price is going in that direction. So if you're on the daily chart and you see that the 15 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour are all daily, are all green, you're like, okay, we're going green. Right? Let you know that everybody's going in the same direction, right? Let's go back to look at our SPX chart for the day. Okay, so what I see here, where's my thingy? And if y'all see some stuff, you feel free to document some of the, or circle, use your annotation tool to see some of the things you see. Look at this one. This was a 2-2 reversal. Price went up, turned around and went right on back down. Entry would have been right here at the bottom of this candle. And it went down, 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 down. Now, of course, it paused a little bit, but it went down as far as this for that particular day. This is all yesterday. But notice you got all this continuation. Think about what yesterday did. All of these twos, two. It was going in. Jamie asked, what would be the exits? What would be exits? So what are targets? If you do a 2-2 reversal and your entry is here, right? This was your entry and price is going down. Your next target, you're looking for the bottom of the next candle. The bottom of the next bottom of a candle. So this would have been the target. That would have been target number 1. The bottom of this candle, which it got here, it got there here. This would have been a good place to exit, seeing that price pulled back some, right? They encourage you to exit when you hit the target, go ahead and jump ship. But you come down to here, then it comes to this target and goes back up a little bit. It does turn back around. You see, we got another 2-1, 2-1-2 here, another pattern. Leg in, base, leg out. I know that's common terminology that you're comfortable with, that a lot of people are comfortable with. That was another re-entry or continued entry if you were still in the trade. But this would have been the target. Then the next target is the next candle, the next bottom of the wick there, right? Price went past that one. It got there about this candle. It went just a little bit lower and then turned around. Again, this is a good reason why you close at your targets, because it could turn and do something different. Next target would have been here, here, here. That's how the targets are set up. But now if that ain't all happening in the same day. Didn't all happen in the same day. So this was a 2-2 reversal up here. Here is a 3-1-2 we were just talking about. Came in, over, and went up. So what would be targets if you're going upwards? Same thing, right? What would be your targets if you're going upwards? Okay, let me get an eraser so I can erase some stuff. Next one up, next target up would be the next highest wick. I think that one's past this one. The next highest wick would be this one. This would be target. You're looking at previous candles for the next highest wick that becomes target 1. The next highest wick is here. That's target 2. Okay, so we went, did a little pull thing around, did a little dancing. It finally gets there here. It's both those targets, and actually with this candle goes a little bit higher and then pulls back. Notice how this really closed around the same place as this target. Maybe a little bit higher. It's not exact. Okay, I'm going to change the time frame so you can see that these same things, these same patterns that we're looking at, if you want to go to, I know people are, you want to look at the hourly candles. If you want to do longer time frames, then you can look at bigger time frames to see where would your entry be. Where would your entry be for a higher time frame? Same, you can look at, we can still look at patterns and see what changes. How do the 2-1-2s and suchies. Let's go look at, I keep losing my thing. Here we go, a 2-1-2. 2 up, the 1 in the middle, indecision, that means we wait. As soon as it crossed below that bottom of that wick, this is our entry. If it had gone above the top, we would have gone that way. Entry going here. Okay, so now entry's there, but stop loss is the top of that next candle. Or you actually could make it the top of the candle you entered on, up to you. Entry going down. This is where we entered right here. Targets. This is the targets. These two candles are about the same, right? You look back, that would be target 1. Price hit past that, boom, boom, hit target 2, target 3. We took out a few targets all at one time. Target 4. This didn't get really down to target 5 very well. But it made it through several of these. But look at what happened. 2, 2, reversal. Now this wouldn't be a full entry for this reversal until it had crossed the top of the candle that you did the reversal on. This would be entry right here. It needs to go back above that candle to be considered entry. And then you had a 1 here anyway. Then looks like it gapped up. This was a pre-market gap. It gapped up, but as soon as it crossed back across this number right here, I don't know what the numbers are, but as soon as it crossed there, that was entry for going upwards. And look at what it did through the day. It did pause, pull back a little bit, right? 2-1-2. Then you got another 2-2 reversal. Reverse, crisscross. Now, you probably would get out by now because this was all the same day. This was the end of the day. This was yesterday starting right here. But let's say we're looking at it and we're looking for our trades that are going to be for the week or for a swing, like over more than one day, right? More than one day. I'm on the daily chart now. How could we use this on the daily chart? Because we don't necessarily trade day trades. Some of us do, but many of us do not. How do we trade this as our option selling trades? right? What would we do there? Okay, so here we have, again, these time frames or these combos are useful for whatever time frame you want to use them on. Whatever time frame you want to use them on, right? So these are the daily chart. How would this end? So this ended a 2 down on the day, but this is also a hammer. This is a hammer candle, which indicates that it could want to go up, right? 2, as soon as the next day crossed over the top of this candle, that would be your entry. Now, our entry as sellers could be, we're going to do a couple days, and this could be our put credit spread entry. Right? The next day when it crosses over there, you can go, okay, we're going up some more. Put credit spread entry, going on up a little higher. Target here would be this next candle up, which would be this one, right? That would be your target. And it got right on up there and did a turnaround. So if you enter this put credit spread this day, you know, if you're entering just for daily, you would want to say, okay, it did its good movement. The next day, I don't know, I didn't look at the timing of the, you know, the end of the week or whatever, but when a trade is ready, but depending on where you think, if you took this entry, let me look at this. If you took this entry as a put credit spread, what would we have picked for a strike? Most likely we would have picked the bottom of this candle. We could pick that as our strike. I mean, as our strike price. If you wanted to go way down here, which, you know, we're talking about 56.70, which on SPX, that really wouldn't feel like it was that far away. You really could put your put credit spread strike down here, or you could put it at the bottom of the box, seeing that you entered up here, right? If you had put your PCS right here, and let's see, what are the days for the week? 23. I want to make sure that you would know, of course, you would look at this to see where the days were. The 23rd, this was the 23rd, which you would have entered on. The 23rd was a Monday. But now with SPX, we don't do SPX for multiple days, no way. You either do it for today or your 1 DTE, which you have done this 1 DTE, you would have been able to exit with what you selected, because the price closed up here. If you had selected this price here as your put credit spread strike, it closed above that. Okay, so now we've got a 2-1. Let me see, was this the combo? The 3-2 reversal right here. 3-2 reversal with those two. Now this one you wouldn't have entered until it crossed back below here. 2-2 reversal would have been, I'm doing this going for the next, oh, that's a long wick over here though. Ooh, you'd have waited all day to enter that one. Or then you did the next day. 2-2 reversal, and you would have entered this one when it crossed back across here. I like the Strat because it's very visual. You can see I'm looking for reversals, I'm looking for the numbers, I'm looking for time frame continuity. This says that the day, the week, the month, that's what this is. This is a D. The day, the week, the month, and the quarter are all green on SPX. And when you go to shorter or smaller time frames, depending on which indicator, we can talk about which indicator to use. Depending on which indicator you have, then you're going to see that you can, the time frame, it gives you some more time frames. Like now this became the 4-hour. Says, okay, on the 4-hour time frame, we're red. Then you want to go, if you're going to the 1 hour, This one may not show some of the, depending on which strat one you have, it gives you, it goes lower in time frames. I think this one is the Strat Assistant. Yep, Strat Assistant is here. Let me see if I went down to 30 minutes. There we go. I knew there was another. I knew there was some more there. What's the question? I thought I heard somebody's mic open. Notice how we've got time frames up here. It says the 30-minute is red, the hourly is green, the 4 hours red, the day is green. Of course, it matters what time frame you're looking at, so you can decide. You can say, well, this time frame is looking starting to act like it wants to turn around. You're looking at your candles to make sure that it's doing what you want it to do. Questions? I like it, like I said, if you were in a trade and the day was going and it was going like this, and you were in this trade and you were wondering if, is it going to breach my strikes? Like, is it gonna breach? I've got them up here, but is it gonna breach my strikes? And you keep seeing these two candles, you need to either know it's gonna maybe potentially, or you need to be waiting for something. Now, if you get here to this one candle, this might make you make you feel a little better, like, okay, whoo, the one candle at least means that it's slowed down. And then a 2 down lets you know, well, maybe it's trying to stay down a little bit, especially if you had something higher. Now, if you were up in here, you're like, is it coming back? You'd watch to see, does it keep coming back? And these 2 twos might let you know that it might not be back. It can help you with deciding whether I stay. Do I stay or do I go? Maybe the price had been falling. Maybe the price had been falling and you were like, is it going to keep falling or not? Like Janae was today. Let's go find Janae today. This is still SPX. Just probably, Janae probably was right in here. This is her 30-minute chart. It came down, boop, boop. It says, oh, no, I'm good. Next candle, 2 green, 2 up, and green, 2 up and green. Means it had some motion it was trying to do. Falling, falling, falling. 2 reversal, going the other way. Who's got questions? None?
But I do like the time frame continuity since you put us on that. This is a game changer.
I like that too. It helps me a lot when I'm looking at all the trades. Like, let me see what this time frame over here looking like. Or if I'm in a trade and the 15-minute goes red, but everything else is green, I'm like, well, let me just give it a minute. Now, if too many things, if the 15 goes red and then the 30 goes red and the hour goes red, I'm like, okay, well, what we doing here? But if only one time frame goes red, then I'm just, and all the other ones are green, I'm like, well, we still green. Let me just see let me hold my horses. Let me hold on to my horses. I see some questions, I think, in the chat. Oh, Valerie said, I like that also. Which strat indicator are you using? Okay, let's go look. I'm using the one that is called Strat Assistant. So under indicators, you can put in, you actually can type in the strat. There's several to choose from. They got strat numbers and combos. Lux Algo has a good one. I was using that one for a while. But it's called, mine is the Strat Assistant. Why did I think? I felt like that. I felt like that's it. Oh, is it called Strat Assistant? Let me just type in Strat. Yep, Strat Assistant is the one that I use. Strat Assistant. This other one here has alerts, highs and lows. I just have the first one. FTC means full time frame continuity. There's a screener. I don't look at all those. I just use the one at the top. This Ricky's Carroll has several of them that he's developed. This is another one of those things that talks about looking for where the candle closes, because you want to close and then see what it does. But as you decide, like if you decide you're entering, you don't have to wait for it to close to enter. So if you decide you're going to trade it as a buyer and you say, okay, I'm looking at this one, and as soon as it breaks out of this one, I'm going, then soon as it crossed here in price action, then you would go ahead and enter. You wouldn't wait for that candle to close. You'd go ahead and make that move right now, baby. You make the move. This ties in. It can look very similar to the candlestick pattern that we've looked at already. It can look very similar to, again, base, leg in, base, leg out. This is just another piece, it's called something a little bit different. I like that it's visual, right? The numbers, the twos up and twos downs, that works for me. I can literally glance and say, what is price action doing right now? And then when I see something that I'm looking at for an entry point, I can say, yep, then this right here it's go time. It's go time. Okay, I'm gonna show you what I looked at today. This is Triple Q, Janae's new best friend. Right, Triple Q came, it gapped down first of all. So it gapped down here. And this was a 2 down and a 2 up. So really this right here was the reversal. This was a 2 down and this was a 2 up. Once it crossed over here, you could enter. I was not entered then. I was on the call with y'all. But that would have been entry right here, right? But after I got off the call, I saw we had a 2 down and then a 2 up. So I entered when it did this. Actually, I was on a smaller time frame. I think I was on a 5 or 10 minute. Let me get a smaller time frame. I want to say I was on 15-minute time frame. So it looked a little bit different. Oh, I think I pushed stop share. Sorry. Hit the wrong button. I was trying to get my pimp show. I was in here. This was the 2 down and the 2 up. Once it crossed here, that was entry. Now I bought a call at this place. Now this was a little nervous because y'all see all these wicks, wick. It did a lot of movement, but those wicks gave me encouragement that we were still going up. I also had the VWAP turned on. I also had my VWAP turned on. Okay, VWAP. So this is the main line of the VWAP. It was riding along, but it couldn't close below. And then finally it decided to move off of here. And it moved on from there. But I took entry based on this 2 down, 2 up candle. Once it crossed over the top of the 2 down candle, then that was entry. We still had some little consolidation. Even though this is a 3 candle, it's still, you see that little doji? Price couldn't pull out the station. And then it finally did. It finally pulled out the station. And then I exited up here. Now the targets would have been previous candles, but there was a gap to fill. So the top of the gap was the first fill, because the gap is going to fill. You expect that it's going to keep doing that. The next target after that actually became this one here, this one, that one, and then this one, and then this one. And it hit all those boom, boom, boom targets. Then we got a 2-3 reversal. Once you got a reversal, means we reverse, we going the other way. So that means it's time to go. It's time to go. Now, what you could do, depending if you're buying, was say, okay, once we reverse, now this becomes entry going down. Ride it down some more, boom, 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 and it came right back down to VWAP. And VWAP would be another trigger for a target for exit, because you know the VWAP is a place where it may bounce, and it did just that. Bounce back up. Y'all see what this is up here? The first line of the VWAP. It went right up to that 2.0 and then turned around. Came on, it went through VWAP, but notice how it hovered around VWAP the rest of the day. What could we have done from a standpoint of a credit spread? Well, once it hit our bottom, this would be our PCS. This could be a PCS number. And then the top of VWAP could have been our CCS number. Price was just hanging out in the middle of it. 493 could have been called credit spread. 491 could have been put credit spread. And you could have made you a nice iron condor riding out the rest of the day. Preguntas? Jamie, no questions?
No tango unas preguntas.
Sí.
You mentioned
It's not to say that I understand it all, but
Well, you say you don't have any questions. You're good. What was your question? What would you get ready to say, Janae?
two things. Again, that time frame continuity is a game changer. Today I messed up, but and it's funny because I'm grateful my hands was quick, but you know, trying to decompartmentalize, because technically I wasn't looking at SPX for the strat. I was looking at NVIDIA, because if NVIDIA was going up, then I felt I had that, because SPX was red.
Mm-hmm.
And NVIDIA started shooting up green. I was like, oh, but mentally, my finger already.
SPX was red on the day. I don't think SPX was red on the day at all today.
No, SPX was red during the time I was in it.
Oh, okay, because it was green on the day, as I was watching.
I'm sorry, not the day, not the
Okay.
I'm not looking at the full day. I'm looking at the
So
was
now
looking
that's
at the
one thing to
hour.
do. That's one thing to do too, not just for you, but for whoever. If you're in a trade and you're wondering whether it's going to do its thing, look at it on the daily to see, is it red, green? Does it look like it's going to flip the other way? And if not, then wherever that the low of the day or the open of the day is going to always provide some support. So I don't know if your strike was below here, but this is SP, not SPX. But I don't know if your strike was below there, but the low of the day or the open of the day was definitely going to provide you some support. Now it looks like SPX was a nice little doji today. It didn't really do much. But just go up and down. This is a daily chart. Go ahead, Janae, and finish what you were saying.
You mentioned something this morning, and I wanted to confirm.
Okay.
I believe you said that the way the day starts, or whatever that trend or that movement is, it's not likely to then reverse. Was that what you were saying? You said something about if it starts down, then more than I think you said that. I think you said if the trend is going down, then more than likely it's gonna either stay that way for the day. It's not gonna go in reverse.
Well, I mean, you're basically gonna have the high of the day and the low of the day or previous day. I mean, there's so many different things that can offer boundaries. But today you see today is an inside day, and all price did was bounce around inside of this 2 candle today. So now there's some people who won't trade SPY, SPX, and those things. They won't trade it at all until it breaks out of a previous day. So if it's inside day, they basically see this as a leave it alone, because all it's going to do is bounce around in here. And then when or if it breaks out, that's when they'll trade it. If it breaks out, they'll trade it. But as long as it's an inside day, they don't touch it at all. But now inside days for us are things we like, because we like price action to just kind of hang around the middle. Our iron condors work perfect for that. Right? Iron condors work real well when with they inside day in. Okay, no problem. I'll just go ahead and do me a nice little iron condor. Let it do what it do.
Yeah, Deb is free. You may have some other indicators on. You got to take one of them off.
Yeah, it's free. So somebody was asking a question about the indicator. Strat is on free trading view. I just searched for it and it's saying no indicators match your criteria. Okay, so let's go make sure we look again that we call it, make sure we call it what it's called. Just type in Strat Assistant. But even though, even if you had too many on, you should still be able to see this one.
Right.
Just type in
Get
Strat
3.
Assistant. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you get 3. And
I think you only
I'm
get 2. You get 2, but
well, volume. Well, I have volume, VWAP, and Strat. So, but yeah, it's free. So, because I'm not paying for trading view. So.
yep. Strat Assistant, just type in Strat Assistant. You should be able to see it that way. The top one, Ricky Z. Carroll is the guy. Okay. Any more preguntas? All righty, so we are the Strat, or this particular one, everybody's here is a member, but this was our last like charting challenge session. This is the last charting challenge session. This coming Saturday, I believe, is Cash Flow 101. Ms. Urban?
It wasn't requested, so what are you trying to do?
I'm not gonna do anything. I'm saying you usually do second Saturday.
If it's requested, it wasn't requested.
Oh, well, have you mentioned?
Sure did.
You've mentioned in our group?
Um,
I hadn't heard you mention it this week.
yeah, it's by request. I always tell people it's by request.
Okay, well, tomorrow morning when you're on, you can see, or you can put a message in the group, up to you, but it's tomorrow, the second Saturday is when you usually do Cash Flow 101.
Mm-hmm.
What is it called on Thinkorswim? So I don't think Thinkorswim has one called the Strat. Thinkorswim has some studies. If you do, you'd have to do a search and then install it as a Think script. And the Think script, it takes a few more steps. It's not as straightforward on Thinkorswim. It's called a Think script, and you have to go and add it to the Think script. I did it and I have it, but I got to remember what I did. But that's what it is on there. Let me switch screens, or I'll drag this one up there so y'all can see it, and I can see the numbers there. You'd have to do a search. Oh, come on. A search for and I might be able to dig it out. And the web might be able to dig it out and give you the web page that gave me the instructions. Okay, there we go. I should be able to find it. But I have it on here as When I go under my studies, edit a study, I think it's called Remix, the person who did it, Remix Super Light, which that means, I'm not sure why they named it that, to be honest, because it doesn't have anything to do with anything. All right. Okay, make it full size. And then it populates with the numbers on the candles that Think script does that. Populates the numbers on here. And I use the numbers, I still do leave them there, but I can now, because I've watched it enough times now, I can see the 3s, the 2s, and the 1s, many times without the numbers, but I know the numbers is a lifesaver, because I can just glance and say, okay, this one's a 1. Or I'm looking at a bunch, and I can glance and see, okay, a 1's here, now I'm just waiting to see when it breaks out of that one. So when I look back to it, I just know I'm gonna look for one thing. I'm gonna look back for it. Do you want me to find that information for you to add it to Thinkorswim? I think that was Valerie that was asking.
Yeah, as many Thinkorswim users as we got. Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna have to go through, yes, we have Sylvia. Okay, I'll find it and then I'll put it into our Telegram, because I'm gonna have to dig for it a little bit.
Alyssa.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, it's Deborah, and hello,
Hi.
everyone.
Hi.
Okay, so I have the Strat on my trading view. Can I
Mm-hmm.
share my screen so you can see if it looked right?
Yep, you can.
Hold on. I remember how to do the share screen.
And then Alyssa, is there a particular pattern you care for, or you've gotten, more comfortable with and feel good about, like the 2-2-1 reverse or whatever it's called?
Yeah, I like the 2-2 reversals, and I like the 2-1-2 and 3-1-2. So if there's a 1 in the middle, I like the 2-2s up and down, and I like 3-1-2, 2-1-2.
And then the pivot gun machine, whatever, can you go over that when you done?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, can you see it?
Yep, I can. Okay, this is what I want you to do, because those colored candles are gonna throw you off. Go up here inside of where it's Strat Assistant. If you put your mouse up here, it's gonna give you there's right here. You want this little gear shift thing.
This one.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Okay, so you want to turn the colors off. Scroll down a little bit. So where it says bar color, go back up. Where it
right
says
here.
bar color, yes, you're going to turn that off.
Okay. Oh, because I had that VWAP, and I think that's why all of that's still on there. Okay, and so yeah, I'm back to red and green.
Yes, red and green, it's because the colors, unless you remember what all the colors represent, you need to see red and green, because for me, you want to know that that it's reversing, you want this this 2-1-2 going down, you want the red and the green so you can tell
Okay.
what's going on.
And then this stuff right here.
You ignore all that.
Oh,
Once you hit this little up arrow thing, that's going to go away. I mean, it's just
Oh,
gonna,
okay.
Yeah.
Wait, go back to the red and green, because actually I've kept the purple. I never even paid attention to it because I look at the numbers.
You want to know, you want to go back here. You want to go
The
and change
settings.
yours? Yep, hit the settings.
Right here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, right here.
Yep. And then where it
Okay.
says bar color, Janae, you want to take that off.
Right here.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
That way it
right.
gives you just regular old colors.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yep. Okay, you all. I'll go and dig in, or let me go and show that other pivot machine gun, because that is an important piece, and I meant to swing back to that. Share, like, share like. Okay, so pivot machine gun is where price has done its climbing, where it's, up. And then, most time, this is what happens when you're trading up and up and up. People who are trading along with that, they're taking and moving their stop up with every candle. Every time that they'll put the stop right there, then they put the stop up, then they take the stop up, then they take the stop up. Right? Every time, that's where they're putting their stop losses. And because the algorithm knows that, what will happen at times after all these people are riding the trade, then they'll put in some, and I'm not sure how, of course, it's the manipulators, but then this drop will take out all those stop losses. It'll hit everybody's stop loss. Whoop, 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 stop all the people out. And then generally, notice this one here is a hammer, which means it'll stop all these people out, and then it'll start going back up. I'm going to show you an example. It happened today. I think those were cues I was just hitting. Yes, it was. Let's go to a 15-minute chart. In this case, it didn't drop as hard as that, but the same thing happened. So we started here. People would have entered, somewhere around in here. They saw but if they were on a different time frame, might have seen it starting to go up. So you enter, stop loss moves here, stop loss moves here, stop loss moves to here, to here, to here. It gets up here to a 2-3, and look at what happens. 4 candles, drop it right back down and take out all these stop losses. So all those people are now kicked out. This one honestly probably took people out too, because people might have, wherever they entered, they would have been like at a break-even place, because you wouldn't have entered to honestly up here. So now you would have been red. As soon as it did that and got back down to VWAP, it turned right back around and went back up. Back through all these same stop losses it just took out. It didn't go as high as this one. And then the price did reach to that one, almost to this one up here, reached right back to the same place, and then reversed and came back down. So that's where the pivot machine gun comes in. It basically says, okay, you're just, pew, 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 and then all of a sudden something will drop out and machine gun all those stops in a few moves. People hear us then scrambling. People who are like, oh, I wasn't profitable. Oh no, I'm late. Oh no, my trade's going red. Oh no, it was looking so good. Yeah, that's the pivot machine gun. Manipulators.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Okay, with the 15 minute, 30 minutes, those arrows, how did you add those?
This should already be a part of the Strat Assistant.
Um,
Let me go and see what it shows here to make sure we can see it. You don't have those showing
Yeah,
up for
but
you?
it would
yeah,
be to
mine's
the
is not on there.
it would be to the right. So make sure your frame.
Yeah, make sure that you're all the way, that you have it brought to the middle, because it would maybe be off the screen.
Bring
But
it
on the
to
main
me.
page, go back. You want to share a screen again, so maybe we can find it, because I can show you where it is under inputs. It's toward the bottom.
Okay, let me. Okay. I'm trying to do something. Okay. I'm gonna share my screen again.
Okay.
All right. Let me see. Share. And I'm here. And share. Okay. So I go back to the little gear shift.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And inputs.
Yep. Scroll down a little bit. Oh, you got it turned on. So drag
Yeah.
your chart over to the left some.
So click OK first and then
And
drag
click
it
OK.
over
Yeah, click OK.
and drag it this way.
Yeah, drag it to the left so we can see what's over there. Other way,
Other way.
Oh,
the other left. Yeah. There they are.
okay.
You see it?
This right here. They scramble up. Okay, I see him.
Okay,
I
so now
think
you
it'll
can
look
see
better
it.
if I put it on a bigger monitor. Yeah, okay,
Oh, I mean,
great.
it looks fine to me. Yeah, are you, as long as you're comfortable seeing it like that. I think too, go back into the Strat Assistant, go back to the settings. Because I feel like you can make it bigger, make the numbers bigger. Click that again, click the one down. Click this.
Oh, the gear shift. I'm
Yep, and
looking
click
for.
the gear
Okay.
shift. Yep. I think
Mm.
in scroll down, because there should be something that tells us the size. Maybe style. Let's click and see.
Go down.
Scroll down, yep. See, we're looking for something that talks about the size. Labels, I see that, but I don't see
Labels,
a
line.
way to make them any bigger. Let me go look on mine and see if I have something different.
Well, check visibility, but I will say this. Based on the hours or the time frame, you have to be mindful of the time frame. Because I think you can have it for an hour, but doesn't TradingView tell you the time within the time?
As far
It-
as the,
What that mean?
how long before the candle's going to close?
Yeah, yes.
Mhm. Yeah. So when you're working with Trading View, see how this candle, the market's closed, but over here at this price action, when it's
Right.
running, it'll tell you underneath the price, it'll tell you how long before that candle expires.
Oh, during market hours?
Yeah, during market hours, it's like counting down how much time before the candle closes.
Okay.
I don't see a way to make that bigger, but mine, maybe it's a bigger screen or something may have, but if you, again, it's just if you know where it is and know what you're looking for, then cool.
Okay. So I just wasn't all the way over for today's
Yes,
date.
it's all the way over
Okay.
to the right.
All right. Okay, great. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome.
You too, Janae.
She's very helpful. We appreciate that.
I know.
We appreciate that.
All right. I'm gonna
Sure.
stop sharing.
All righty. Anything else we need to go over?
Jeremy, the only reason why I'm not saying anything about Saturday is because I'm not available. But I would challenge you later.
Oh, here we go. She's gonna challenge you
Shots
later.
fired again.
Yes. She's like, I will be here.
All right.
So I can't be here this Saturday, but I'll get you on the next one.
Okay. Suit yourself.
You said suit yourself. Suit yourself. All righty, you all. I will see y'all in the morning, bright and early. How y'all like it 9:45? Oh, I knew you was gonna respond. How did I know you was gonna respond? Meh.
I mean, it's okay. I mean, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, the market's already open, so it's fine.
Okay. All righty. I'm gonna see y'all in the morning.
Hasta mañana.
Hasta
Hasta
mañana. Bye bye,
All right,
everybody.
thank you.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye bye.